So the green light flashes at the end of the dummy grid. And here we go. It's Senior Rotax. It's race 5 of the meeting. Heat 1, Groups A versus B. Let's have a look at the starting grid. So, following on from yesterday's qualifying, it was Rhys Hunter from the UK that put it on pole position. He has alongside him Zsombor Kovács from Hungary. The returning Lars van Vark and Nicolas Picot now make their way onto row 2. Flint Schuring and Dylan LaHaye, row 3. It's an all-British row number 4. Matthew Higgins and James Johnson. Christian de Klein and Ruben Volt ran at the top 10. Artur Horsch and Mads Ries, row 6. Linus Hansen and Andrej Petrovic, that's row 7. Lewis Gilbert and Mario Sidler, row 8. Emily de Hoys and Ilian Brunsils ran at the top 9 rows ahead of Zino Kovac and Vincent Bouteille running at the top 20. Completing the 30 strong, it's Max Stemmerdick, Sam Bergstein, Tim Prinsloo, Miska Kaskinen, Bendit Sabo, Jere Kokalainen, Lester Ellenkamp, Robbie Stodder, Mats Johan Overhoff and Adrian Dobrich. So this time, the ante goes up another level. 10 minutes plus an additional lap on the clock. Red lights on the starting gantry. Now, the 5th of November in the UK is bonfire night. It's always Guy Fawkes night. We have a lot of fireworks, that kind of stuff. Well, the fireworks are here in clear abundance, especially with Senior Rotax. And having commentated at this circuit for quite a few hundred races, I know what to expect and I know what's coming. Because all I'm going to say is, grab your popcorn, grab your soft drink of choice, and hold on for the ride because it's going to be a good one. So the drivers, it's going to be Rhys Hunter and Zsombor Kovács on the front row. Rhys Hunter dominated proceedings at the International Trophy this year. Also picked up the Motorsport UK British Kart Championship Senior Rotax title. So he is one of many drivers that could be a favourite here this weekend. Out of the final corner, into the tram lines. That's a full start. So another formation lap. So, 5 races in, and we've had 2 full starts already. That just shows a bit of a precedent. But you know what? Sometimes anticipation makes the heart grow fonder, and that's very much the case in racing because we're all chomping at the bit. We all want to see these drivers go side pod to side pod every single time the lights go out and they are reignited. The red light back on the starting gantry. And I know that myself and Esme are very much looking forward to the action. Big smile on her face just then. So this is where it really gets down to crunch time. This is where it really kicks off because, you know, it's great to see the micros, the minis, the juniors, but then the seniors come along and it just goes up another level. Right then, Hunter on pole. Kovac alongside, on the front row, out of the final corner. Looks a lot clearer this time. Okay, into the tram lines. And we are given the lights out signal. We are off and away, and Rhys Hunter being followed by Lars van Vark into turn 2. Kovac hung around the outside to dry as they all filter their way through. They can use the runoff as Nicolas Picot. Oh, massive incident coming out of turn number 3. And there's Artur Horsch, one of several drivers, the 601, also compromised, and that was Bendit Sabo. Oh my goodness, I said the fireworks, I didn't mean that early, crikey. But that just goes to show, you pull the pin on the grenade and you throw it, wait for the shrapnel to sort of literally go all over the place, and that's exactly what happened. But Rhys Hunter has got a lead at the moment, and it's a big one. And we're not even at the end of the first lap. So out of the final corner, Rhys Hunter leads the way. Lars van Vark is down in 4th place as Zsombor Kovács And Nicolas Picot, Van Vark, does a great move on Pico to get through into third place. And there is Flint Schuring. His brother Morris has just had a win in Bahrain just recently, so congratulations to him. There's a nice little move. That was from the 646 of the returning Mads Ries. He's been running in Danish Formula 5 this year, along with Janetta GT5s, as Flint Schuring really giving Lars Van Vark the hurry up here. And Van Vark doing a great job just keeping it planted in that position at the moment. So Van Vark drops behind Pico to stay in fourth place. Mads Ries, 7th. Matthew Higgins in 8th. Zino Kovac, Ruben Volt and Dylan LaHaye round out the top 10. Then it's followed by James Johnson and Lewis Gilbert. As up the inside goes Flint Schuring, past Lars Van Vark, through into turn number 2. But in the meantime, Pico, I think, is closing in on Kovac, and that is for second place on the road. Well, trying to. He's a bit further behind, as the 399 of Christian de Klein now behind Matthew Higgins. It's the based out of Wales from Trafalgar's. His dad David, a multi-time American rally champion. He's also had the prestigious honour of doing a perfect season. David himself has won multiple British karting championships in his own right, and he made his moves up the ladder in motorsport. Matthew Higgins is actually, I think, on record, the youngest ever B&L Karting Series kick-off winner at the age of 14 as a senior Rotax driver last year. That just shows that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree in the Higgins family. A great battle here between Lars Van Vark and Flint Schuring. This is for fourth on the road. Nicolas Picot is a bit further up the road, and he's trying to close in on Zsombor Kovac, who is closing in on Rhys Hunter in the meantime. Oh, hang on a second. Rhys Hunter has lost the lead. Kovac has gotten through. And Ruben Volt has been passed by Dylan LaHaye. Dylan LaHaye always runs well here at Karting Genk. Of course, it's his home circuit, and he's been with GKS Levens Power for a multitude of seasons. Two-time winner of senior Rotax titles in the B&L Karting Series. A little bit further back as Lewis Gilbert sends it up the inside of Zino Kovac to now take 11th. Lewis Gilbert, based out of Ayrshire in Scotland. And, there's a couple of drivers, people looking there. One from Bhuvan Power, one from Dams Racing. I think it was Luca Larini I spotted there, to be honest with you. But Zsombor Kovac leads the way. So at the moment, the battle for the lead is quite clearly on. Zsombor Kovac was alongside Rhys Hunter on the front row. Rhys Hunter is now in second and closing in on the Hungarian as they come out of the final corner. 5 minutes and 25 seconds plus an additional lap left to go. 1.5 tenths separate the top two. Rhys Hunter waiting. I think he's going to wait until turn 6 and head onto the Europlan to make his opportunity known to Kovac, and Kovac might not have a chance to respond. And this is where the slipstream also comes into effect. Nicolas Picot is closing in on them. Flint Schuring started to lead a train, and that's got Lars Van Vark, Mads Ries, Matthew Higgins, Christian de Klein, Dylan LaHaye and Ruben Volt. As the battle for the lead quite clearly continues on at a frighteningly fast pace, but the driver with the fastest lap so far, Lewis Gilbert, 54.027 seconds, and Gilbert currently trying to close on Ruben Volt for what is now going to be 10th position. Picot, in the meantime, has tried to close in on both Hunter and Kovac, and Hunter is the quickest of the trio. Lap number 6 in the books. On to lap 7 we go, and it was a 10th between the top two. Rhys Hunter is just putting on the pressure, as Mads Ries has got his way past Lars Van Vark, and now is Matthew Higgins. That was through turn 3 and turn 4, and Lars Van Vark loses 2 places at the drop of a hat. Christian de Klein is right with him now as well. Lewis Gilbert has made, I think that was Lewis Gilbert, I'm not too sure who was behind. That was Lewis Gilbert behind Dylan LaHaye. He's now in front of him. So Lewis Gilbert up into 9th place on the road as we speak. Lewis Gilbert started down in 15th position. Customary form from the young Scotsman. And the Potenza racing engines these days. The race carries on at a frighteningly quick pace, as always here in Senior Rotax. We've got another heat up after this one. All drivers on the limit of adhesion. We've had 2 retirements already. Bendit Sabo and Linus Henson. Bendit Sabo out on lap 3. Henson out on the first lap alone, so I think he got caught out. Or he got caught up in that turn 3 skirmish where everything just went horribly wrong. 3 minutes and 10 seconds plus an additional lap. Reese Hunter still applying the pressure. Top 2 coming through the exit of turn number 8. There is Mads Rees, and he is ahead of Flint Shearing. And here goes Matthew Higgins up the inside. The 375, based out of Wales, now gets through. So Flint Shearing has lost a couple of positions, and that drops him from 4th to 6th place. Good pace showing from Christian de Klein in the 399. Last year ran as a junior, now in his first full season as a senior Rotax driver. And at the end of the season, things look to be coming a bit better for the Dutchman. So there we go. Lead has changed as Reese Hunter waited, and he managed to get through. That would have been through turn 2 on Zsombor Kovács. And Nicolas Picot makes it a top 3 at the minute. They were covered by just a fraction under a second last time around. 2.25 minutes to go. Reese Hunter now back where he started this race. Led it before Zsombor Kovács decided to get past. Everyone else seems to be getting on with business, and they're running in the 54s, a lot of them. So the pace has increased a little bit further down in the top 10. And that has been shown by the likes of Mads Rees, Matthew Higgins, Christian de Klein. Lewis Gilbert is right on the back of the 399. So Lewis Gilbert up from 15th, now gunning for possibly at least a top 6, I would even reckon. As there goes Christian de Klein up the inside of Flint Shearing. Lewis Gilbert just closes on in, waits and bides his time. And will more than likely try and get down past Flint Shearing going into the Europlan, but he's going to make the move now. Neatly done by the Scotsman. Gets the run on Shearing. And that has a little bit of a gap between himself and Christian de Klein from the Netherlands. And that is a battle for what is going to be 6th place now. So Lewis Gilbert also making some moves up and down the order. He can lead from the front, and he can fight his way up the order. And he's not the only one in this field. 60 seconds on the clock remains, plus an additional lap. As the leaders make their way through turn number 12. A cavalcade of colour here in Senior Rotax, as always. And Dylan LaHaye, I think, is being pressurised by Ruben Volt. Lars van Vark has dropped down to 11th and is being closed in on by Iljan Brunsils, of all people. And Brunsils started all the way down in 18th place. The Belgian now up into 12th. Leaders now coming down the Europlan. As Reese Hunter leading Zsombor Kovács. Nicolas Picot, Mads Rees, Matthew Higgins, Christian de Klein, Lewis Gilbert. Flint Shearing drops to 8th. LaHaye and Ruben Volt ran out the top 10. 28 of the 30 drivers still circulating. 12 seconds on the clock remains. It's going to be tight. Are we going to have the last lap board out this time? I think we might do. It's being prepared. As they exit out of turn number 12, timer has struck 0, so last lap board is out. Reese Hunter takes a quick glance over his right shoulder. Zsombor Kovács is about less than 0.3 of a second behind. Flint Shearing drops out of the top 10, now into 12th place. As LaHaye, Volt, Van Vark and Brunsils have gotten past. So final lap is underway, and it's halfway through for the top 2. Reese Hunter leading Zsombor Kovács. Nicolas Picot, Mads Rees has been closing in on the Frenchman over the past few laps. In terms of pure pace, Mads Rees was nearly 0.3, well, he was about over 0.3 quicker last time around, and he could get third by the checkered if he plays his cards right. But through turn 11 come the leaders. What is going to be the 12th and final time? Reese Hunter constantly looking over his right shoulder. to see where Zombar Kovac is, but out of the final corner, Reese Hunter wins Heat 1 in Senior Rotax Groups A versus B by 0.23 of a second ahead of Zombar Kovac. Nicolas Picot rounds out the top three. The top three covered by 1.941 seconds. Mads Rees made his way up from 12th on the grid to finish in 4th position at the flag. Matthew Higgins, another mover up the order. He started 7th and he finished 5th. Lewis Gilbert, 15th to 6th. That's 9 positions gained. Christian de Klein in 7th at the end of that, ahead of Dylan LaHaye, with Ruben Volt and the Netherlands' Lars van Vark completing the top 10. So, Ilian Brunsils, James Johnson, Flint Schuring, Sam Bergstein, Mario Sedler. Then we've got Emily De Hoys, Vincent Bouteye, Zino Kovac, Artur Roche, and Andrei Petrovic rounding out the top 20. Completing the 28 that finished that race. It was the likes of Stemmerdink, Kaskinen, Ellenkamp, Stoder, Overhoff, Dobric, Kokalainen, and Prinsler. Bennett Szabo out with 9 laps to go. And Linus Henson didn't even make it to the start-finish line on the completion of lap number 1.